Hello, Stitchers! I am back. I am Heather, the 20-minute Stitcher, and this is my channel about Flosstube, this is my Flosstube channel about cross-stitching, this is Flosstube episode number 20. Today is Saturday, July 16th, and I am coming to you 2 weeks after my last video. I did not record last week. Typically, if you're new to my channel, I record every weekend, and I did not record last week. The last 2 weeks have been a lot. And I was exhausted last weekend, and I do this for fun. I don't make money off this. So I just decided to give myself a break. And so I appreciate all of you patiently waiting for this video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. So happy to have you here. I've seen several new subscribers in the last 2 weeks, and I am so happy to have you joining my little neighborhood community here. I hope that you will subscribe. Well, I guess you already subscribed. Oh my goodness. I clearly should have had that second cup of coffee. Let me try that again. Thank you for subscribing. I hope that you will like my videos, that you will comment and ask questions and engage with my content. I love to respond to comments. I respond to every comment I get. Sometimes it takes me a little while. Some of you just got a response this morning from comments left almost 2 weeks ago, and I'm so sorry. But quick life update might help explain why I've been so MIA lately. So the last 2 weeks have been super hectic and busy. My daughter left for a week at Scouts camp, and kind of the whole week. So she gets back today. She left last Sunday, whatever that was, the 10th. And kind of the whole week leading up to it, she was in super high anxiety mode about it. She was trying to get out of going. There was just a lot of emotional management going on. But she went. There has been a lot of emotional management this week as well. She has texted and called almost every single day. She has had a difficult week. It sounds like a lot of the scouts have had. It sounds like it was a challenging week. Heat, dehydration, ticks, girl issues. Even the one leader I spoke to the one night said it's been a really difficult week. So I think they are all very excited to get back today. So it's been an exhausting couple of weeks. I ended up having to go on a last minute trip for work, which was a great trip, but it was last minute. So it was I spent a lot of the end of the week of the 4th trying to schedule meetings and make plans. So it just has been a lot these last couple of weeks. So I am happy to be back with all of you. This is fun time for me. Doing this Flosstube keeps me motivated on my stitching, and I have gotten quite a bit of stitching done in the last couple of weeks. So agenda for today's video: life update, check. No new starts this week because I did show you my Firework Kisses on my last video. I had just started it, I think, that day. So no new starts in the last 2 weeks, but a lot of progress on some whips. Not a whole lot on others, but I'll show you all of them, even though the one, I think, literally got 7 stitches put in it. But I'll show you my whips, my works in progress, how I'm doing. I have some haul to share, and then a shout out of a new Flosstuber that I've just discovered who I'm really enjoying. So I wanted to share her with all of you as well. So let's start with the whips. The first one is my Firework Kisses. This was my 4th of July stitch. That I stitched on July 3rd and July 4th. If I have a video of where I was on the 3rd, I'm trying to get better about I say that. I want to get better about taking pictures of my stitching. I know Frizzy Lizzie Stitches, for instance, is really good about that. And it is kind of nice to be able to see that side-by-side comparison. I'm sure it's motivating for her as well as helpful to all of you. So I might try to do that. I'm terrible about that stuff though. But anyway, so here is where I ended on July 4th. with this pattern. I suppose I should show the pattern first, huh? That would be helpful. So this is Primrose Cottage Stitches Firework Kisses. And it's a pretty small little piece. And as I said, I only stitched on it on July 3rd and July 4th. And that's the progress that I made on it in those. This was maybe 3.5 hours of stitching, maybe not even quite that much. And I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to go back to this. It might be a while. It might be next month. Maybe this is something I'll pull out maybe on the 4th of each month until I finish it. I don't know. I got to think about it. If you have suggestions, let me know. Happy to hear them, because I'm trying to figure out, because it's small, so I feel like I could finish it quickly. But I also have so many other patterns that I want to work on. I don't know. It's fun to stitch though, because it does stitch so quickly. So that was Firework Kisses, which I stitched on July 3rd and July 4th. And now it's been put away and I need to figure out when I'm going to stitch it next. So the rest of July, I'm doing sort of 3 different things. I'm doing Jolly July, or Christmas in July, whatever you want to call it. So I have a holiday Christmas pattern that I've been stitching on. And I am also, the cross stitch chat that I am part of, the theme for this month is Summer Loving. We're supposed to work on our oldest whip. That's the one that only got 7 stitches in it. But I'll explain why. And then I also decided I wanted to continue working on my Tiny Modernist When Witches Go Riding. So I'm supposed to be alternating days. One day on Christmas Is by Lizzie Kate, one day on my Magic Kingdom Stitch Along, which is my Summer Loving project. And then on Mondays and on the 10th and the 31st of the month, I will be working on my When Witches Go Riding. That kind of got thrown out the window these past 2 weeks because of the trip I had to take for work. It was on a day that I was it was on 2 days. One day I was supposed to stitch When Witches Go Riding. The other I was supposed to stitch my Magic Kingdom Stitch Along. But those are both large patterns with lots of floss. And they're digital patterns, so I have to have my iPad handy. So I ended up just stitching Christmas Is both of those days because it's smaller. I was able to take it in my carry-on bag and stitch it in the airport and travel with it much more easily. So Christmas Is got a lot more work in the last couple of weeks than it was supposed to. And the other days that I was supposed to stitch the Magic Kingdom Stitch Along, one of them was a day my daughter had a Scouts meeting and she just sort of had a high anxiety day that day. And so that's the day that I literally put 7 stitches in it because I got her to bed and all I wanted to do was go to bed myself. But I said, no, I have to get at least some stitches in. So I literally stitched one color. It was 7 or 8 stitches and I was like, done. I stitched on it, call it a day. And then the next day that I was supposed to stitch on it, I just didn't stitch at all. So that was a long-winded explanation. Let me get back to showing you the stitching. So as I mentioned, I wanted to keep working on my Halloween When Witches Go Riding Stitch Along from Tiny Modernist. And I will have to put a picture of the pattern up because it is in its little plastic sleeve facing the wrong way, showing me the key instead. And I am not going to make you listen to crinkling plastic while I fish it out. So I will put a picture up on the screen of the finished project. I am fairly newly started on this, so but I made some really good progress. That's fun to see on this. So here's where I am at with Tiny Modernist When Witches Go Riding. So let's see, Monday the 11th, or no, Sunday the 10th was my first day this month stitching on this, and then I did get maybe 20 stitches in on the 11th before I went to the airport. But previously, the only thing I had done was this raven here, or crow, whatever he is. I'm choosing to believe he's a raven. And kind of the witch's hat and her face and part of her hair. So on Sunday the 10th, and then a little bit on the 11th, I added all of this back stitching, which I just love. It's so dainty and so intricate. It's just one strand of 310. And I love the way it looks. It's so pretty. And then my little witch got eyes and a mouth, and I started filling in her hair on this side of her head. And this little motif here got added in as well. So it doesn't look like a lot of stitching because of the back stitching, but it really actually was quite a bit of stitching. That's a lot of back stitching there. But that is where I have gotten so far on When Witches Go Riding. I am hoping, so there are, and I also worked on this on the 13th of the month. I'm sorry. So I'm working on this on the 10th, the 31st, the 13th of the month. And then also on Mondays, because Halloween is on a Monday this year. So I am hoping in July, there are 2 more Mondays plus the 31st. Getting a page finish is probably ambitious, but that's my goal. So we'll see. So that's When Witches Go Riding. Then the next pattern I worked on loosely was the Magic Kingdom Stitch Along from Cunning Cross Stitch. This is my Summer Loving pattern, the oldest whip that I have. And like I said, literally, I can't even show you where it is. Oh, I guess it was 2 colors actually. So this little lantern here, this light pink and this dark pink, that's what I stitched. I only worked on this one day. I worked on it for literally about 25 minutes before I went to bed. That's all I got done. So I am eager to get back to this because I kind of lost motivation on this when I couldn't really see where it was going. But now that the whole pattern has been released and I see what the finished pattern looks like, I'm excited to finish it. So I just got to get working on this some more. I need to do my little wicket. So that is When Witches Go Riding by Cunning Cross. Really should have had that second cup of coffee. That is the Magic Kingdom Stitch Along by Cunning Cross Stitch. Whew, y'all still with me? I'm sorry. I am not at my best today. All right, final whip is Christmas Is by Lizzie Kate. So this is the first Christmas pattern that I started. And I have made tremendous progress on this, in part because I did take it on my trip with me. So I was sitting in the airport for an hour or so stitching on it. And as you can tell by looking at it, it's just a kind of pattern that stitches quickly. Words tend to stitch quickly. It's mostly words. And so I am super excited to show you. Oh, I should take it out of the hoop. Where I am with... Oh. Sorry, my needle minder fell off. I'm trying to find where... Oh, it's on my magnet board. I was like, where is the second magnet for my needle minder? Okay, so here is... Well, I'm trying to think. Had I started this already? Yes, I had started this. I think the last time I showed this, I had like Family, Hope, and maybe part of Friends done. Maybe more. I can't recall. But anyway, so I have all of the green words done. So Family, Hope. Yeah, sorry, it's not. I'm not one of those who irons. So I have Family, Hope, Friends. So I have all the green words done. The only words left are Christmas Is at the top, and those are in this red here, the same red as the hearts. So those are the only words that I have left. And then there is a evergreen tree over here, some mittens over here, and I think 1 or 2 more little, two more little stars that kind of go over here somewhere. And then this one will be done. So super excited. I figure this is maybe 2 or 3 more days of stitching, and then it will be done, which is very exciting. So I intend to have this finished by the end of July. Yay! So that is Christmas Is by Lizzie Kate. Those are all of my whips for July, but I do have some haul, 2 pieces of 2 new patterns, or not 2 new patterns, 1 old pattern, 1 new pattern, and then all the stuff to stitch them. So the first I will show, ooh, it's in a paper bag. Sorry, I'm going to crinkle for a minute, is everything I need for, since Christmas is stitching up so quickly, I know I had shared before that the other Christmas in July pattern I had been considering was this one, Jingle All the Way by Little House Needleworks. I decided to start with Christmas Is and focus on just one. I had thought about starting them both and alternating, but when I decided that I wanted to also participate in the Summer Loving challenge for my cross stitch chat, I decided to just focus on one Christmas pattern. But like I said, Christmas's is really close to being done. So I had this pattern. This was the runner-up, Jingle All the Way. But I didn't have fabric or floss for it. I didn't have anything I needed to actually stitch it. So I went to my LNS yesterday with my mom and got everything I need to stitch this pattern. So I got, hold on, let me take out some, there are multiple, it requires multiple skeins of some of the colors. So let me, just to make it a little easier, take out the duplicates. So I got all the floss. So here is, it's a lot of colors. So here is all of the floss for Jingle All the Way. So it's a really nice mix of sort of mostly kind of neutrals, and then this one sort of bold red. This is Campfire. These are all classic Colorworks colors. This is Campfire for the barn and the sleigh, I think. But so I got all the floss, and I got the fabric. So I'm not using the called for fabric. The called for fabric is a 30 count portobello, which is basically just like a raw linen. So what I ended up getting was a 28 count cashel from Picture This Plus in the color Heartland. Is that what it said? Yeah, Heartland. So the color isn't really picking it up. It's almost a raw color. Well, no, it's not. It's a lot lighter than a raw linen, but the darker modeling is closer to kind of a raw linen color. But I really, really liked sort of the variation in this. And I really liked how some of the darker colors really popped against it. And even the lighter ones, right, look really, really nice against it. So I will be starting this once I finish Christmas's. So I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll finish Christmas's. Maybe this will be a new start for my next video. I guess we'll see how much stitching time I get this week on Christmas's. So that is the fabric and the floss for Jingle All the Way. And then I also got myself at my local needlework shop some size 28 needles for my next piece of haul. So those of you who also watch Bridgen, the museum stitcher, heard her talk about how she and I are now, it's so funny how this came about. We are now going to start stitching together in September, unless we get impatient and can't wait until then. In September, Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio, and I'll put a picture up here of what the finished pattern looks like. But she had mentioned in a video that it was on her wish list, and she really, really wanted to stitch it. I have been obsessed with that pattern since I first saw it, but have been intimidated by its size and by the fact that the called for fabric is a 40 count fabric, which I have never stitched on, but I absolutely love just the whole look of the pattern as called for. So I basically sort of said, if I'm going to take the time to stitch this huge complex pattern, I'm going to stitch it as called for because I love the way the finished project looks. So I mentioned to Bridgen, like, hey, when you stitch it, I'll stitch it with you if you want, because then it'll be motivating to me to know that I'm stitching it with someone else as well, thinking that it was like down the road on her list, right? And then she was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm buying everything right now. So I was like, okay, I'll buy everything right now too. So super excited to get started on stitching this. So the pattern, I purchased the digital pattern from Lila Studios Etsy shop. And then from 123 Stitch, I ordered everything needed to stitch it. So all of the floss and the fabric. But yes, so at my LNS yesterday, I got the 28 size needles because I don't have any, because I usually stitch on 32 or 28. So I usually just use the size 24 needles. But I am in love with this fabric. It scares the daylights out of me because it looks so tiny. But this is, I believe the color name is Murky. Sorry, let me find it on my little, yes. I think it's, I don't know who dyed it. I'd have to look at the pattern. I think it might be a Picture This Plus. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But it is a 40 count linen in the color Murky. Oh yes, it is Picture This Plus. Sorry, there's a sticker down here that says PTP, which I assume means Picture This Plus. But I mean, look at this fabric. Is it not gorgeous? I'm so excited. I'm intimidated because I've never stitched on 40 count before, but I'm so excited. So this is the fabric and then the flosses that go with it. Sorry, I forgot everything was in a plastic bag in here too. Excuse me. They're all classic Colorworks colors. And so they're all right here, multiple skeins of some of them. But I mean, look at these colors. Are they not gorgeous? And I love the variation in this one, which is lobster claw. I also love the name. That's hilarious. But look at the variation in that. And then when you put them up against the fabric, oh, now I can't see. There we go. I mean, I'm so excited for this. I'm very, very excited to start this one. So this is the fabric and the floss needed for Lila Studios Halloween Quaker. So that's my haul. I really, 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 really am not allowed to buy anything else for a while because I'm spending too much money, but it's so beautiful. That is all of my stitchy haul, and I have one more piece of haul that I'm super excited about. So I really enjoy watching some other floss tubers who show overhead stuff. And I was like, I don't know how you do that. All I've got is my laptop here and my camera. So I got myself an overhead camera. Well, it's actually more than overhead camera, right? You can also use it to record just regular. But I purchased it so that I can record overhead. So now I have to learn how to record on my phone, and all of that stuff. So more things to learn, but I'm very excited because, now I can do other things. So let me know what you want to see with an overhead shot. So I know Stephanie has already asked for a video showing how I grid fabric, and then how I stitch using the grid. That's on the list. Once I figure out, I'll probably just find a free pattern so that I can show the pattern, and something small. Cause like, for instance, I was thinking about gridding Halloween Quaker, but it will take me a month just to grid it because it's so big. So I'll find something small that I can grid fairly quickly, on camera, and then show how I use the grid in stitching. But if there's anything else, like if you want me to host like stitch alongs, maybe I can do that. I did also, I don't know, I'm getting wild and crazy over here. I did also submit the request to be able to do live stream on my channel. So hopefully within the next day or so, I'll be set up to be able to live stream. I thought maybe for fun, I would just live stream my weekly videos every once in a while. But I could also maybe do Stitch with Me's or something like that. I don't know. I'm exploring options. So let me know in the comments if there's something that you would like to do with me. I mean, I know my shorter format videos, if I were to do a Stitch with Me, obviously it would be longer. Maybe not, obviously. I guess maybe we could just do 20 minutes. But I'm exploring options. So, but now I have to learn how to do that. So if anyone knows any good tutorial videos, let me know that too. Because I've never recorded on my phone before, so I don't know how I do that. I'll have to ask my daughter. She knows all that stuff. All right. Well, that is all I have for you this week. Thank you again for spending some of your time with me. I look forward to reading and responding to your comments. And I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Happy stitching. Feel free to follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I'm not great at Instagram. I don't think I've posted in a couple of weeks, but I try. Actually, that's not true. I think I might have posted from the airport. Or at least I took pictures intending to post from the airport. I don't know. I think I'm going to go get some lunch. I haven't eaten yet today. Maybe that's why words are hard for me right now. Anyway, thanks again so much for spending some time with me. Happy stitching. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Hug your loved ones, and I will see you soon. Bye. Oh my gosh. I said goodbye and realized that I had forgotten to do my shout out to the new Flosstuber that I've recently discovered. Seriously, I need to go eat lunch. So really quickly, addendum to the video. So I just discovered this weekend, oh my gosh, I forgot to write down her actual name. But her channel is Historically Dressed. And she just has three Flosstube videos out right now. I will link her below. But it sounds like she's very new to cross stitch specifically, but she has done petit point and crewel embroidery for a little while now, and sort of had the realization that, like, gosh, this is a lot like cross stitch. Maybe I'll try that too. And so she has 3 videos out so far. A lot of the petit point work that she does is dollhouse related. So she enjoys dolls, sews clothing for dolls, 18-inch dolls, I think is the size she said, as well. But she has a little side, I don't know if it's little or not. She has a business that she sews clothing for dolls. And she has a doll house as well. And so a lot of the work she does and some of the things she's shown in her first videos are actually she is stitching rugs for doll houses. And they are just beautiful. Not anything that I've ever even thought about being a thing. So anyway, and she's just getting started in sort of true cross stitch. She's got a couple of full coverage patterns that she has just started working on. Her videos are also a shorter format like mine. They're really only 17, 18, 19 minutes long. So I really enjoyed those, her videos. And so I wanted to share her with you as well. So I'm so glad I realized I forgot to do that. I will tack this on to the end of my video, and please go check her out. Historically Dressed. I will link her in the description below. And now I am going to go get some food to eat and maybe a second cup of coffee. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.